Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Storytime Spotlight. For this week's guest, we have the co-founder of Spoon-Fed Records, Seek One. How you doing, bud?
I'm absolutely fantastic.
Doing
How are
good,
you guys
good.
doing? How are you
Hey,
doing?
doing good, doing good. It's good weather out. It was a long day, but looking forward to hitting the gym after this. To be honest, let out some steam from the day, and get things kind of moving and grooving. But I was super excited though to have you hop on here with me. So I do appreciate you taking the time and hopping out on here. So we're just going to get right into things. Where did the name Seek One come from?
Well, Seek One is actually an artist name. I did a little bit of graph writing when I was younger, but mainly like fine art, mural stuff. So it was always an artist name that I had. It's funny how not that many people ask me about the origin of my name or the meaning of the name, but that's basically what the gist of it is. Yeah, it's something that just stuck with me, and it's just my musical name now. But it's the meaning of it is actually like seeker of higher truth, and to me, like one is kind of the end of the road when you're looking outside of questions and answers. Ultimately, you have to decide that within yourself. So that's kind of the meaning of my name.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's crazy that you say you get it from you used to do like graffiti back in the day. I was actually my favorite. Well, I wouldn't know if you'd consider him a graffiti artist, but Alec Monopoly. He always does stuff with like drip art and a bunch of colorful stuff. And it's just funny because when I started out a long time ago, I wanted to do little graffiti on little stuff. And I used to grab like chalk and do like little stupid stuff on sidewalks. And then I upgraded to spray paint, but we don't got to talk about that. But it's crazy that that's where you started off from and you kept that name. So, hey, good shit. It has definitely a deeper meaning than what most people's names actually stand for. So it definitely has history behind that. Good stuff. Good stuff. So what DAW do you produce on?
Strictly Ableton. When I went to Los Angeles Recording School way back when, I'm not going to state the year I graduated, but I even got Pro Tools certified, and they taught in Logic too, some Logic courses, but maybe last 6, 7 years has been strictly Ableton. I got to test 11 beta, and I'm using 11, so
Yeah.
um, yeah.
There you go.
I'm like
Ableton.
super nerded out on Ableton, and when the beta came around, I just jumped on the waiting list, and I got to use it a few months ahead. So
There you
yeah.
go. And it's crazy too, because being Pro Tools certified and I've used Pro Tools, it almost gives me like anxiety using Pro Tools because it's not like a beautiful looking format when it comes to a DAW. I mean, this is just my personal opinion. I think like for me, it could be more like there could be more things that are like eye catching. Sometimes it's not. And it's just kind of very like cookie cutter. Ableton is just like so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's an open
Yeah,
canvas. It's just a beautiful thing. So certified in
exactly.
Pro Tools, that's a big thing too. Do you use Pro Tools a lot, or do you just stick strictly with?
Uh, yeah, well, when I was graduating, I didn't know if I wanted to be an assistant engineer for a studio. Actually, interned with Tony Maserati at his studio,
Mhm.
right out of school. I was still trying to figure out what the end game was for me. I mean, I knew I wanted to produce, but in the time being, but that's why I learned Pro Tools, and they even use that for video and all that stuff. So
Yeah,
um,
most definitely.
yeah, it was just something to get a little more well-rounded. But no, I'm not a Pro Tools fan. It's Slow Tools, in my opinion.
So, yeah, that's a great way of naming it. Slow Tools. Slow Tools. That's a good name. So when you're starting off on a blank canvas, whether you use a template or not in Ableton, what's the first thing you go to when you're starting out on a brand new project?
Well, the first thing would be the drums for sure. Drums, and I'll usually start with a simple sub line with a sub which is cut off, low pass, and I basically just make a groove. And then from there, once I get the vibe, like to me, if you can have a kick drum, a clap, and a hi hat and a sub, and it sounds grooving, you're off to a good start. Like that's the foundation of your track, at least for house music.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah,
Absolutely. You
I
got to have
used
a
to.
powerful backbeat.
Yes, exactly. The foundation of the house. But yeah, I've gone through like a bunch of different ways to try to like come up with the best way to work. But oops, sorry, it's the alarm for our original session. Okay. But just getting information in your DAW, I think is the most important thing. Getting some paint on the canvas, moving it around, and not really over analyzing what you're doing and just kind of just going with the flow. To me, that's my best process.
Yeah, there you go. And once you find something you get the niche for, I feel like it's the best way to go about things. So if you know what you like to do and you're comfortable with it, you got to stick with that. And that kind of gets me to my next question. What would be some advice you could give to people who are starting out producing?
Like fresh,
Yeah,
yeah, like,
fresh. Like
yeah.
they're trying to get into it. They're looking at this interview and they're saying, "Okay, I like this guy's music. What could I learn from him if I want to get into music production?"
Yeah, well, there's a few things I would say. First, there's a lot of free information online, right now compared to 10, 20 years ago. Definitely utilize your resources there. Use your ears to analyze songs. Like when I was struggling with that specifically, I would just listen to one track that I liked over and over, and I would like write down per phrase what's coming in and out, what type of frequencies are they using,
Right.
trying to break it down, and like kind of like critically analyze everything in that. And then like if you like a producer right now, a lot of people are doing lessons one-on-one because people have free time right now, and I would suggest to do that. And if you can get into a session, to me, that's the best learning. Maybe because I'm like a visual learner, but I think that's the best is looking at somebody actually doing it.
Yeah.
um yeah, I mean, those would be my suggestions. There's more than one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, visual learning is definitely, I'm right there with you. I'm a visual learner. It's harder for me just to stare at an instruction book and kind of look at it that way and figure how things can kind of move and groove. So definitely YouTube, utilize a lot. For everyone who's watching, this is a powerful tool. And not only that, you'd be surprised with how many plugins and how many sample packs you get for free watching these production videos that people just give out. So that's definitely a big pointer too. Now, whether it be in the industry or producing, what are some do's and don'ts that you could give to people?
Hmm. In industry or producing, one thing I don't know why this sticks out to me, but it's like DJing. Don't ever ask somebody to go back to back in the middle of their set, because that's a quick way to get. You're not gonna get hit up again. And
Oh,
I don't know if that's just me doing so many events throughout the years or whatever, but that's just a no-no. I guess when it comes to
that's
like,
so true. That's
yeah,
so true. Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Just face-to-face interactions, like just have proper social skills and just be a personable person. Don't be too over eager, but yet be interested. There's a fine line. And just respect the artist. Like if you respect somebody, treat them respectfully. And don't expect too much out of them, out of a conversation. And let things happen organically. I think that would be my best advice, and I think that's where I think my best relationships have happened organically, and me not trying to force something. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah, there
yeah.
you go. Organically. And also support. You got to have that close group of friends that are around you, support you, but also you got to support others to get their acceptance to support you too. It's not a one-way road. Definitely have learned that
Absolutely.
too. So
Absolutely.
what are you doing when you're not producing?
Oh man. Um, well, yeah, I've recently, like last 6 to 8 months, I've been doing all the graphics for Space Taco. So I'll do all the flyers. And for Spoonfed Records, I've been doing all the album art. And that's been kind of a lot, because like for our upcoming releases, what I'm doing is I'm collaborating with the artists on the album art. I'm doing animations for the previews, which hopefully I'll turn into animated music videos. That's like my kind of my next goal. Um, so I'm like diving head into. I just got an Apple Pro like 8 months ago. I kind of like mastered Procreate, and I'm diving into the Adobe Suite, After Effects, Illustrator, all that good stuff. So that's mainly what I do. If it's not music, then it's art related to music.
Right.
Or if not, then like if we're gonna break it off further, then if I get a free moment, I got a pool table in the back. I play pool. I have a chessboard, a nice chessboard that I play with friends, and if I even have more time, then I'll sneak a drink in there once in a
There you
while.
go. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. So you kind of brushed up on it, but give us more insight on Spoon-Fed Records.
Yeah. So Spoonfed's been around a little over a year. We've had almost 100 tracks released. Right now we're releasing about every 3 to 4 weeks. It started off as a DJ collective 7 years ago, before Space Taco. So it was originally we wanted to do the label, but we were all kind of budding producers, and then we ended up starting the event company. Kind of life happens, things happen, and got pushed back. But this last year, everything has fallen into place, and we kind of have the right sound, the right level of production that we wanted to put out, and the right aesthetic. So yeah, it's all about like that wonky, peak time tech house, gritty, big subs, fun. It's just fun tech house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for sure. And it's a cool thing too, because seeing the songs that come out on Spoonfed Records, seeing them chart on Beatport's labels and like top 20 or top 10 or whatever it may be, like that's a big accomplishment. So that's definitely a very cool thing. And the people that are making music and sending it to you guys, like it's like a big accomplishment just to even see that on charting on Beatport. That's a big thing. So shouts out to
Yeah.
all those artists. Now you were mentioning it too, the Space Taco stream that you guys do. Now, you guys do something on Tuesday, correct? On Twitch, Space Taco Tuesdays. And then were you mentioning something about on Saturdays you do stuff?
Yeah, so before the whole, COVID thing, we were doing a bi-monthly LA warehouse party called Space Brains, and that started as a free event because we're based out of Pomona, and there's an art walk here, so we wanted to provide a space that originally started for uh, people to have free vending, like our community to have an event, and then the DJs were kind of the background, and that just became this huge event. If you guys want to check it out, Space Marines Gathering. The last event we did at the Imperial Warehouse was like 1,200 people,
It's
just like ridiculous. And that was, I think the last one was in February, right before lockdown. So man, it's crazy, but we'll come back, and that was to end up being turning into a festival. That was the goal, and then like our Tuesday Space Taco, which was at the basement in downtown Pomona, that was going to just be our flagship weekly, and that was the plan for that. And now they're both kind of just streams at the moment, doing pretty well, I would have to say, maintaining and growing audience, but yeah, once we get back, we're going to continue on course.
Yeah, I tuned into one, I think it was like last week, but I love the fact that your guys' stage that you did, it had like obviously you guys had like the green screen, but it put the artists in like pyramids and stuff, and you had like the cats
Yeah.
coming by with all this stuff. Like it was super cool, super interactive. So it was definitely kept me entertained. On the music was great, but it was just like, just looking at it wasn't just a still camera. There's just so much more going on. So it was definitely super cool to see what you guys are doing with that. Now, just some random questions I have for you. What are 3 things that you can't go without in a day?
Um, my phone, unfortunately, has one.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, I live off my phone, but yeah, that, my girlfriend and my dog, to be honest, yeah.
There you go. Those are 3 solid things. Those are like essentials, I think, at this point. What type of dog do you have?
He's a Yorkie and a Maltese. His name's Prince. His Instagram is Prince the House Pup.
Prince the house pup. Love
Yeah,
it. Love it. There you
yeah.
go. Do you find that sometimes it's a little bit easier to find traction with your dog's Instagram? Sometimes you post up, because I feel like people love seeing dogs on Instagram, like the traction to
Uh, yeah, I'd say it's easier than it should be. It's
get.
definitely easier than starting an account brand new. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So what's something that we would find in your fridge?
Um, let me see here. Definitely hot sauces.
Hot
Yeah, hot
sauces.
sauces, salsas. Yeah, there's not too much. We usually cook and don't have leftovers, so there's usually not too much in the fridge. But definitely you'll find some good hot sauce selection.
There you go. Hot sauce selection. Keeping it spicy. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I like to start this new game, and you're actually the first host, Adam. The first spotlight we're starting off with the title "One Has to Go," and the first thing we're starting off with and one has to go is hi-hat, snare, or toms?
Yeah, I mean the hi-hat and the snare are pretty essential for the music I'm making, so I guess I could get away with not having toms in the
Not
track.
having the toms,
Yeah.
okay. And then
Although a nice pitch down tom makes a great sounding house track, so but it'd have to be toms.
it has to be
Yeah,
toms.
final answer.
Final answer, lock it in. Bam. Okay, one has to go. Rap, rock, or pop?
Yeah, pop because I'm huge on underground hip hop and '90s rap and alternative. I came from the '90s, so
There you go.
pop's
So
gotta go.
pop's got to go. Pop's out of here. Okay, okay. If you were to sit down and have coffee with any artist, who would it be?
Uh, probably Justice, but I'd have to have a translator because I can't understand when they speak.
Right. That there
The
you go.
interviews that I've seen, but yeah, I'd have a few. I love their music and I like to pick their brains on their process. To be
On
honest,
how
yeah.
they have things kind of going on. Yeah, most definitely. So now, obviously, we know for the future, there's going to be new music coming from you, but what about merch? Can you give us some insight on the stuff that you've been talking about online?
Sure, yeah. We've been doing these small one-offs, which is kind of what we also did when the club was open. Um, we have spoonfedrecords.com and we have a small merch store. It's up now. There's a few things up. But yes, I'm really looking forward to getting back into the club because there's something magical about the merch booth and just it reminds me of going to shows and just getting a little memento. And once we're back, there'll be 100% merch booth and really cool stuff. I've been designing my own things now. Before I was kind of collaborating with one of our designers, and I've kind of taken that hat. So if anybody wants anything, they could DM me, and I post stuff. Basically, it's just like as soon as I put it up, whatever I have is there as of right now. But like I said, once the club opens up, we'll have a full on, merch booth and everything.
Yeah, I
Sure.
saw. I think I'm not mistaken, it was a pin that you posted up, right? Or was it a
Yeah,
little? It was a
the
pin, right?
little, yeah, little character that I made. Yeah,
Yeah,
started
super
off as a doodle.
super cool. So where do you find that inspiration for these doodles? You just one day you wake up, or you kind of watch Adventure Time, or like you see some cool trippy stuff like cartoons. You're like, damn, that's sick. Okay, and you kind of like manifest your own kind of take on things.
Yeah, I've been doodling since I was a kid, like in class and just sometimes I doodle and it helps me think. So that comes more naturally than anything for me. So lately I've been coming full circle with it because I had stopped drawing for a long time. I
Hmm.
would draw and paint my whole life, and um, and now I've started picking it up again. And like I said before, I have the iPad and Procreate and the Adobe Suite. So like having that just digital platform is it's like putting steroids into my creativity.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's actually what came more natural to me. Music, I had to kind of earn to learn. My learning curve was not as as easy as it was for drawing and other forms of art.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So did you start out producing first, or start out DJing?
I started out in bands first, actually. I played piano, then guitar, and then I was in punk bands, lead singer, but and lead guitar, throughout high school, um, and then after that, I took a long break, got like a 9 to 5, quit that, went back to school for music, fast forward, and then DJing, and then producing.
And then producing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes though sometimes. But you have those roots, so that make it very helpful when you're going into stuff, because knowing that you've played these previous instruments help so much. Whether it be like chord progression, music theory, things along those lines. That comes into big play in music, and a lot of
Yeah.
people sleep on music theory. So if you're coming from bands, pianos, guitars, like you, I'm very sure that you're aware of music theory. So speaking of all the creativity that you do, would you consider yourself introvert or extrovert?
Oh man, yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out because I, I guess I thrive like outside in the public. Like I'm very but lately I've been very introverted in the sense that like I don't want to hang out with friends. All I want to do is just create and push forward my career at the moment. And um, but you know when I get out and DJ, it's like all that stuff just fades away. You know, so
Oh
eh,
yeah.
yeah, it's just a hard. I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, and from what I was seeing too, you're opening up for a pretty big artist. I believe it's at the end of this month, right?
Oh, Gene Ferris, it's in the middle, yeah, and then Tommy Sunshine the beginning of next month.
See, so you have these things that are just lining up and everything's lined up. So it's like you got a lot of stuff to look forward to, which is like a great thing. And it makes you like it's always nice to look forward to stuff. You know, when you have nothing to look forward to, it's kind of like the days just drag on. But having these things to look forward to just helps so much, so much. Um, and then so other than that, we are very happy that you're putting out your track Pusha Babe out on the chapter 3 with Storytime on the book club. So we are super excited about that. So once again, thank you for that. Is there
Yeah.
anything else that you would like to promote or anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, you know what, just the Space Taco fam, how you were talking about, us getting really well received on Beatport and stuff. If it wasn't for building that foundation of fans and family, then I don't know how far we would be at this moment. So, it's kind of like a domino effect. I feel like that has happened for us. So mainly the fam, Space Taco, Chris Carey, he's like, he's super involved with Space Brains Gathering. He's kind of the driving force behind that. I've been getting some really good help with Brian Matthew, Jeremy, Mr. J Strom. They're kind of behind the scenes on the Twitch stuff. Michael Barlow, just a team, man. It's a lot that goes on. It looks simple. It looks got a nice polish, but there's a lot of moving parts. So just thank everybody. Oh, Orlando, Orly 17. He's been a great support. And all the DJs that come and just are interested in playing our stream. So, I mean, there's so many people. Like, I hope I
So many
didn't
people,
miss.
it's like off the top of your head, you're just like,
Yeah,
man. But it's so it's amazing to hear that you have a team that's around you. A lot of people don't realize you need to have a team not only just for support, but like you also need that helping hand for stuff. Or you're not going to be the most knowledgeable. Let's say it's in streaming or mix and mastering or video production or live Adobe art. Like these people that you're around, this team that helps you create, that's such a big important part. So for everyone listening, you definitely need to have a nice team around you to help you with that supportiveness and a helping hand from time to time. I just want to say thank you, everybody who's tuning in to this interview. Once again, my name is Matt Campbell with our Storytime Spotlight guest, Seek One. Thanks so much for tuning in. See you guys next time.